Witaj w YouTube'owej wersji Ortopogadanki. W rozmowach z moimi gośćmi poruszamy tematy związane z medycyną i sportem. Zapraszam, Jakub Jabłoński.
Witajcie w kolejnym odcinku Ortopogadanki. Dalej jesteśmy na Estadio Civitas Metropolitano w Madrycie. Dla mnie ten człowiek, który tutaj siedzi obok, jest jednym z wyjątkowych takich ludzi dla mojej całej kariery zawodowej. I will switch to English. So Luis, for me, is like one of the biggest tutors I had in my whole career. So this is a guy, he's a big changer in my life. So Luis, I'm honored to have you here and to talk to you. We knew each other in first isokinetic, I guess it was 10 years ago. We met, we talked in an elevator, we talked in Spanish, which surprises you that the guy from Poland speaks Spanish. And that's how it started. I went to Barcelona, to Car. We spent a year, almost a year together.
Yeah.
And I'm really honored and I'm really pleased that you agreed to make this talk. So I really also I invite guys who are important to me, or the guys who means a lot in the fields of sports medicine or any sports activity. So thank you. And
Jakub, Dr. Jabłoński, you know that it's one of the most important things in my life, my professional life, is that it has allowed me to meet a lot of people around the world, and with not all, but with some of them, and you are one of them, to be a real friendship, a real contact, a real growing up for sports medicine, for overworking, for other challenging things, and you and other people you know has been very important, because probably you don't know, but when I have worked with you, I have grown a lot. Have grown a lot, because it allows me to be actualized. It allows me to share your excitation when the excitation that all of us have when we start in a new profession, or the first years of our career, and to be with young people like you in that moment. For me, it's very good. It's
so we share the passion.
We share the passion, and to continue to take our passion to myself.
Yeah.
For that, I take more advantage than you.
Pleased to hear that. Pleased to hear that. That's so fun, because in Lyon, in the isokinetic 2 years ago, we made this photo with Kyle Borg, an amazing guy. He's a friend of ours from Texas, US, and we really still shared this friendship during all those years. Also,
sure.
Isokinetic family helps us organizing this Congress, because we meet each other almost every year.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, this kind of conference where you can meet a lot of people, and I remember Kyle also. It's very funny and very good people, and I hope we continue with this.
Yeah, I guess this interconnects us, because by Kyle I got to Andy Williams, and then if you talk to people and you say, "Oh, my huge friend is Luis Til-Perez," like, "Oh yeah, Luis is an amazing guy." All of us, we know each other from all those days, conferences and fellowships, all that stuff. Okay, Luis, because people are always also interested in why a person like you became so much involved in sports medicine. So how did you end from being a traumatologist, orthopedic surgeon? Because Luis is a sport athlete physician, professionals, performance. Luis is responsible at the moment for Benfica Lisboa, like a head of the whole medical department. Luis was responsible through the years for Barça team, medical team. You were a first team doctor when Ricard was there. You won the Champions League. There was so much about you, but how it started, why Luis Til got involved in sport field?
I think it comes from the passion. No? In fact, I come from. I have a training in orthopedic surgeon, like very regular in general hospital, treating the usual conditions for people, mostly elderly people. You know, the fractures and hip fractures, the problems, the common problems, but. In one moment appears the opportunity to work in the Olympic Training Center, the CAP, Sant Cugat. It is a center very specific. There are a lot of centers like this around the world, but this has been contracted for the Olympics in 1992, and it continues to do real good work to promoting the elite sports in Spain. And from that, it's very close. It's close to Barcelona, and in 2003, after 5, 6 years, 7 years working in the Olympic Training Center, and I started working in football because Barcelona has changed the mindset. Has changed the mindset to do a progression that nowadays is very common to see how the clubs and the sports organizations are worried in the health and are worried in the performance of the athletes. But 20 years ago, it was not the same. And Barcelona, in that moment, was one of the pioneers, the board of Barcelona, and they started a new project and goes to the Olympic Training Center to take the knowledge and some of the people that were there. But probably the question, I prefer to respond that I came from a general hospital. When I arrived to a sport, I discovered a new world. I discovered a new world of people that is works in a very demanding, very professional, and very sacrificed, but also with challenge, with clear goals, and in that moment, trying to help the kids and the girls that are working for their dreams, working with them. It has been very exciting, and every day I got more implied on that. And as I said before, I gain more that I offer them. And after I think it's a mixture of passion for the sport, but also for science.
You've been doing sports yourself? Have you been an athlete?
No.
And actually, me too. And I don't see a point of. Obviously, some of our friends who does sports medicine, they were athletes themselves, but I don't think that there would be a huge change.
I think the people that come from sport, that have been athletes in more or less professional ways, they have an advantage in the starting of the career because they understand better.
They understand better, yeah.
They understand better the environment. But of course, after working 1-2 years, if you continue to work in the sports, you understand very well how locker room works, what are the rules, what are the rules in the sports, that the specific language of any sport. And it's exciting also. And I promote the physical activity in all the sport as a health benefit for the community. I work in some projects for that, but of course I need to apply for myself also. In fact, I have a huge family of athletes, my kids, my wife, people like this. They are fans of sports and practicing. I'm the only one that practice less. I try to do some physical activity, but probably if I do much, it will be better.
Yeah, I wonder how many gold medals of Olympics you have in your athletes.
Because in my athletes, we are as Olympic gold medals. Some of them probably I have treated more than 15, as far as I remember, medals or silver, golden.
World champions, Marc Marquez, Rafa Nadal, Muguruza, Joel Gonzalez.
Joel Gonzalez from Taekwondo, yes, I remember.
Tanta gente.
A lot of motorbikers. And Olympic Training Center is a special atmosphere where people from different sports shares, and they grow up together, they go to school together, with and they work. I think it's necessary to have this kind of organizations to help the young guys to avoid as much as possible the side effects of the sport in a professional way in young ages.
Okay, you asked one of my questions, so how specialized and how different they are. So we answered that more or less. So what's the biggest challenge for you in the field of sports medicine at the moment? What is the biggest problem? Is it the groin? Is it tendinopathy? Is it ACL? Is it hamstrings? What do you think is the biggest challenge we challenge at the moment?
For me, the biggest challenge in the sports in this moment is to manage the overload. The overload that conditions most of the chronic injuries that usually are more difficult to treat. Of course, to have an ACL tear, it's devastating, but we have good answers, good techniques to do. We are talking in these conferences how to manage this, how to do the rehabilitation in the correct way, how to do the prevention to avoid that. But in the sports, the internationalization of the competitions, and I'm going to talk about football because it's my last 20 years. I have worked most in football. The competitions are tougher than more heavier than before. There are more competition, and of course all the opponents are stronger, are faster. And I have heard here in this conference that every year the metrics of the most important metrics in a football match increase to 5% every year. It's amazing. If you
we are doing so much of prophylaxis, measuring everything.
It's for that probably it's not enough with the prevention we do, because the demands are increasing. If we see a match of 20 years ago, you can
much
see that
slower,
the football
less intense.
Has changed a lot. But if you go 14 years ago, not so far, when the World Cup has been in Spain 14 years ago, it's another kind of sports. But now we have, I have seen in these last 20 years how the professionalism has arrived. All probably most of our athletes, most of our football players are very professionals in nutrition, in habits, in healthy habits, and in training, in
load management.
All of them, most of them. But despite that, some injuries continue increasing. And for me, the overload conditions tendon injuries that are more difficult to manage, because a lot of times we need to manage them without rest. We continue playing, continue training, and it's very challenging that, and probably we need to improve. But of course, the demand is higher, but also the resources, the concern of the society, the focus of all the people that is around the sport is higher. For that, it's very challenging for itself, this situation.
Next question. You said that we are challenging the world. Has through your career, the athletes, how big is the change? Because you mentioned that there is a change in the athletes. I think what, for example, Andy told me, because a few years ago we had the impression that the footballer, even at the highest level, is not smart enough. But as Andy said, for example, in Premier League, that they are incredibly smart. You can talk to them about almost everything and they know how to respond. What's your opinion about that? How did it change in your opinion?
100% agree, because the general opinion that it has been like that the football players are not smart enough. Of course, most of them are very clever in real life situations, because they understand everything at young ages. If they compare a football player of 25 years old with a guy of 25 years old outside, in all the sports it's the same. they are more mature. They understand very much better. They react better. They have integrate better the message of the environment, and they adapt better. And in the other side, I have one thing to the top football players I met. I met some of them: Iniesta, Messi, and Xavi and Puyol. I could assure you that they are very, very intelligent. They are the smartest people that I've never met before, because and after they adapt their reality to. But it's not easy to be
there,
a top performer, but they are people amazing in different aspects of their life. And of course, as a doctor, when we talk with them, they are worried about the problems. They need information, and most of the times we need to share our decision making with them. First of all, as a doctors, we take the decisions with the players together, and after with these decisions, we're doing the best for them. It's basically the best for them. We share our decision with the team, with the club, because there are a lot of things that can modify a decision. But of course, the first nowadays they are worried, like the general population is changing, and when we are patients, we need information. We need to know what can happen after any decision, and we are implied in that.
Okay, you mentioned that you have to talk to them, to the club, to the team. How did you manage to talk to the managers of the top of the highest level and saying no? Like, you were one of the responsible for Ansu Fati, last big case of yours, and you let finally for him to play again. How did you manage to survive?
There is really, the situation is like this. There is a lot of times could have a high conflict of interest, because we are. I working for a club. Is the club that contracts me? No players have chosen me as a doctor, but my work as a doctor is not for the club. It's for the players, because I am a doctor, and the first of all is the person, and I need to gain the trust of the player, of the athletes, and probably the KPI for detecting that will be that. If a player could choose a doctor after work, I work with him, it must choose me. It has been that I work very well, because I need to work. And there is another third factor that it could enter in this conflict, that is the team, because the team is one thing and the club could be another, because the club, who has the responsibility in the club is the board, or the owner. Who has the responsibility in the team is the coach, and sometimes the interests are not the same.
Yeah.
And after there is the player, no, and there is only one solution when there is a conflict. The most important is the player. The most important is the player. Long term, the health of the player, because we are doctors. We have a compromise with the health. We have a compromise with our patients, but also. Is the best for the club and is the best for the team. Not to put in extra, and you need to talk a lot with these people, and finally, for sure, if we talk, you convince them that the best for the club is to have the best health for the players, and probably to lose one training or to lose one game, to lose something, if it could benefit much more than to put on risk. But on the other side, we are doctors that are working inside the clubs, and we are in the middle of the competition, and we need how stressful it could be. And of course, we're implied because we also want that our team wins as much as possible. And that, and also for the players.
Yeah,
the players
they play.
Sometimes are the first actor that want to be involved wants to be involved in the best moments of the season for that. But our main responsibility is the health of the players and the benefits, the maximum benefits for the players. And with that, you never can forget that. And with that, probably you fail less than if you go in the streams that sometimes the environment, the media, or someone could change our decisions. It's better to maintain you as a doctor, of course, and a special doctor, because you are in a team and you are living the competition from inside.
Amazing. Any differences between Spain and Portugal?
I love Portugal. You know, I love Portugal. I'm living there, and probably, personally, for me, the main difference is that I'm not living in
your environment.
In my environment, but it's sometimes I think that is very positive because I'm more professional now, and my decisions are less emotional than before, because it's more professional, it's more independent. But on the other side, I could say that football in Portugal is very passionate. It's one of the countries more passionate about football, and you go from the hell to the sky. You win or you lose, you can change all the life of the people involved.
I always ask the question to the people, to the athletes and sports medicine people. If you just think about the best memory from the sports fields, you could just, it comes to you and it makes you smile. What was that?
Oh, I have some good memories, but probably one of the best, of course, is when I was in the team that with the UEFA Champions League in 2006 in Paris against Arsenal, because it was not only for the game itself, because after I celebrated with my family in Paris, and it was
amazing,
very nice. But the team was amazing to share with people. One of my favorite players in the world, Ronaldinho. That is
mine too. I'm always jealous for that.
And every time I remember him, I smile, because he teaches us how to smile in front of the life, in front of the tough moments of the life. A lot. He changed the mindset of Barcelona in that moment, because Barca
all those years
centuries never wins. Always we play against the other club of this big small city, this nice city, this big nice city, Madrid, the other club that is used to win everything, especially the UEFA Champions League. And in that moment, from the point of view of sports, it was very nice. And there are a lot of small moments that comes from to discover how a player that, for example, an amazing player for me, another amazing player is Ousmane Dembélé. And I remember they playing in Kyiv in Ukraine before the war, one game, and he has been ill. He has been with a medical problem, doesn't matter what. And he's a player that previously has suffered a lot of muscle injuries, and in that moment, this previous condition and the moment of the team in that moment probably is not the best moment to play. And he asked me very strongly that the team is suffering a lot. He could not be in the out of the team for that moment, because it's an important moment to qualify. And I understand sometimes that players that some people could say that are not enough implied. Sometimes it's false. Sometimes the general opinion is manipulated. And now I remember Ousmane Dembélé, how he asked me, please doctor, let me to stay with the team because I need to be there. After if the coach that I go to the field or not is his decision. But if they need me, I need to be there. Doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter if I have another injury. It's necessary because the team is suffering a part of this thing. These words to us before a match, a challenging match in Kyiv in 2021, 21st or 22nd, I don't remember when. And he participates. He plays 30 minutes and he participates. We win, and after it has been not enough because we don't qualify because my actual team Benfica wins in the next round. But anyway, I remember very well this player, for example, and there are a lot of situations like this.
It's really hard to judge the team physician. It's really hard to judge the players if you don't know it from the inside.
From the inside. Sometimes the players that have suffered much, the athletes that have suffered much, probably when you start, wrestler that has suffered four surgeries in the shoulders, doing the shoulder, and after he continues with pain, he continues. In that moment, I don't have anything to offer him. And I remember one Friday afternoon, he comes to my walks. We are alone, and sorry, I say to him, I want to call another surgeon because I need to call another surgeon. I have not what to offer you. And after talking with another surgeon in the phone about him, in front of him, 20 minutes, when I close the call, and after he says me, I want that you always be my doctor. But why? I don't help you till now. Nothing. No, it's for that. It's because you are worried about me. You are worried about me. You do everything I need to improve myself. I don't know if we achieve our goals, but I know that you are in my side.
The attitude.
And you are on my side. In that moment, this kind of conversations you have sometimes with the athletes, and it's not with the. Is in the bad moments you receive the best feedback of them. It's for that I gain more that I offer them because
I remember this time because I was there.
Yeah.
And I remember pretty well how it was and how difficult for you it was as well. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Till the end, when we finish, I always ask the people, where do you see when you stop working? What's your dream place to stop working?
Probably you know, but I love sailing. I don't sail a lot, but I love sailing. My dream is to sail, to live close to the beach. I have this opportunity also in Barcelona or in Portugal because we have a very beautiful coast, and I live close to the sea, and I love the sea. And to live there and to sail without
live
a big
peacefully.
ambition, to live with my wife and to see, not for the moment, but to see how my grandsons, granddaughters grow up. I don't have for the moment, but I hope to have some of them in the future. It's my dream.
Amazing, Luis. Thank you for this talk. Thank you for all you've done for me. Dziękujemy Wam za uwagę. Estadio Civitas Metropolitano. Un abrazo. Do zobaczenia. Zapraszamy do oglądania wszystkich ortopogadanek. Wszystkiego dobrego.